Good evening. I want to welcome you and call to order this meeting of the Floresville ISD Board of Trustees for this date, December the 2nd, 2024 at 6:30 p.m. Let the record show that there is a quorum of board members present. Myself, Joel Odom, Ms. Lion Martinez, Mr. Jason Sabota, Ms. Lana Reed, Mr. Stephen Shawrock, Mr. Marshall Fleer, Mr. Craig Boots. Furthermore, let the record show that this meeting has been duly posted in accordance with the Texas Open Meetings Act. You'll stand with me. I will lead us in prayer, followed by Mr. Fleer leading us in pledges. Heavenly Father, we thank you so much for our school district and, Father, for our community of Floresville. We ask the Lord God to tonight give us guidance and wisdom as we make decisions concerning our students, our teachers, our staff. Lord, thank you so much, Lord, that we have one of the best staff and best teachers around, Father God. We're grateful for that. Thank you for the administration that leads us, Father, in each of our schools and here in central office. And Lord, we pray your blessings upon our school district tonight, Lord God. Bless each one here tonight. And Father, give us again wisdom and guidance. In Jesus' name, amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible.
Ms. Reed will now recite our FISD vision and mission statement.
The FISD vision statement is character, knowledge, confidence. Our mission statement is FISD is committed to the development of innovative, lifelong learners who possess character traits to achieve personal and professional success.
All right, now, Mr. Shawrock will now recite our FISD goals.
The FISD goals are excellent student outcomes, superior workplace environment, exceptional customer service and community engagement, and strategic resource management.
All right, now we will do a round robin of reciting our FISD core beliefs. All students feel safe and supported in a developmentally and academically challenging environment.
Families are welcome partners in their children's education.
Faculty and staff are compassionate, dedicated, ethical individuals who are student-centered.
Campus leadership is fair, equitable, and clearly communicates and engages with stakeholders.
Superintendent and central administration leads with integrity, transparency, and clear communication to provide a well-resourced educational environment.
Trustees provide student-centered and fiscally responsible leadership and transparent and ethical support of all stakeholders.
Okay, now Mrs. Martinez will now recite our overview of good governance and code of ethics.
Each month, we highlight one of the good governance indicators and code of ethics that the FISD Board of Trustees follow to promote the best interest of the district as a whole. This month, for the code of ethics, we're highlighting student-centered focus. I will be continuously guided by what is best for all students of the district. Our good governance indicator for this month is board actions reinforce the central importance of board-adopted goals and the day-to-day work of the district.
All right, now we will have some recognitions for Floresville ISD's students and teacher of the month, Dr. Gilstrap.
Yes, I'd like to call Colden Barrett, principal at Floresville High School, and he's going to introduce our teacher and two students of the month.
Good evening, Dr. Gilstrap, Dr. Lim, and School Board of Trustees. Just for today, we're going to be addressing our two students of the month as well as our teacher of the month. One of the things that I really enjoy about this particular award for the students of the month is it's really an individual reward, but it's also a family award. So it really reflects on the student as well as the family. A little bit about the selection process of how these students are, how they rise out of, we have approximately 1,256 students on our campus, and this gets narrowed down to 2 students out of all of those kiddos there. The process that takes place is a nomination process, goes out to all high school staff, and they submit their nominations. We then take the top 4 of those nominations who's received the most, and we send that out for a voting process to narrow it down to 2. So the 2 students who rose to the top were hand selected by paraprofessionals, teachers, and other support staff on campus. And it really just demonstrates that they've had an impact on multiple people within the building. And that's a reflection of the parenting and how they've been raised, which is a big piece of how these awards come about. So to start, our first student of the month, if you would come up, and Isabella, if you'd come up, Miss Middleton as well. Our first student of the month is Tyler Moots. He's the son of Craig and Christina Moots. He participates in FFA, NHS. He's in our top 10. He was also one of our assistant football coaches. Participates in varsity golf. In addition to that, he also led our pep rallies this year and engages in community service. So one of the things when I reached out to Tyler's teachers to get a little bit of feedback about who he was, why he was nominated, why he was selected, two things kind of rose to the top as those primary characteristics as to why he was selected. And it's going to be very similar to Isabella's as well. It was leadership and work ethic. And in my opinion, they're one and the same. And those two pieces kept coming up over and over and over again. So definitely kudos to the parents. Did a great job of raising this young man. I've seen it firsthand from FFA fundraisers when I'm coming to pick up my plates and he's out there handing them out, to just everything that he does for our school, leading our pep rallies, being involved, even on the sidelines coaching. Any opportunity that he's given to step up and contribute to the school, he takes. In addition to that, I see him out there in the community doing things. He's out there serving his community through these different FFA avenues, as well as being a part of Peanut, going and helping hang up some of the peanuts downtown. It just shows that his work ethic extends beyond the classroom, beyond the schoolhouse. It's out there in the community, and that's something that I really value, and that's what we want at Floresville High School. We want people who are self-sufficient, but we also want people who contribute to the community. And so very proud to recognize Tyler as our first student of the month. Our second student of the month, Isabella Valdez. She is the daughter of Veronica Valdez, and she is participating in so many extracurricular activities, it's hard for me to keep track, so I got to read a lot of them. First one, she is the vice president of our student council organization. She is the reporter for NHS. She's the vice president for HOSA, which is our health science organization, and she's also a color guard captain. In addition to that, she was also a part of our taffy team that went to state. She was a state competitor as well as a national competitor last year. The same thing with Isabella Valdez. When I reached out to her teachers, they were saying how well she works with everyone. She gets along with everyone. She's very collaborative, that she's very articulate when she speaks. She's a great public speaker. She did our convocation for us, again, helping out in other avenues throughout the school. And with all of these pieces that I'm gathering from the teachers, overwhelmingly, they communicate just how much that she does for her peers around her. So the two things that I can draw from both of these students of the month is that, yes, they are flourishing and they are doing very well themselves, but they're also bringing up people around them and they're helping people around them. And so to me, that's what I like to see. That's what really speaks well of Floresville High School. Y'all represent our school very well, and I'm very proud of both of you for receiving this award. All right, Isabella, it's yours. Sorry, I'm one-handing it tonight, y'all. Tyler. All right, for our teacher of the month. Our teacher of the month, Miss Middleton, she was nominated by our peers, voted by our peers, and then admin, we reviewed it, we looked over all of her records, and Miss Middleton has been a tremendous asset to our campus. First thing that I want to mention is when Miss Middleton gave us some feedback just about, why she felt she was nominated for this award. One of the first things that she mentioned in first line, Mr. Middleton, you were in the first line. The support that she receives from her family is ultimately what she reflected back on in that piece when I was reading through there. And to me, that really spoke a lot because we know I have Miss Middleton on my campus for about 50 hours a week. But I know outside of that 50-hour work week, she's probably putting in another 25, 30 hours of grading, lesson plans, trying to go out and get supplies. She's our health science teacher. It's her second year here. When I reached out to her team members, that's all they could talk about was how great of a team member she is, how much work she puts in to help them. She was out recruiting teachers for us, trying to get more people in the building for equality. And so when I spoke to her students, the primary thing was that they just said Miss Middleton cares. And for me, that was one of the biggest pieces because What that tells me is that Miss Middleton gets the most important part of all of our jobs, and that's advocating for kids and being there for kids. And so when that came to light and kids were saying that she cares about us, she advocates for us, I saw that within like my first 3 weeks there as a principal when she came to me about a student. She cares about our kids and she advocates for our kids. And so that to me means the world. You're the right person in the right room, and I very much appreciate having you on the team. Thank you, Ms. Middleton.
I'll make a few comments. I'll start with Ms. Middleton. Yeah, what a story about what you've done, and kind of read some of your bio that you started as a nurse. And so that you found your way to nursing by teaching the patients, and that's why you found yourself teaching. So quite respectable. A lot of acclimates. You were the Dreammaker Award, so that shows you the recognition and the value that the students are placing on you. So we thank you for that. Thank you for being part of that. I'll start off with Mr. Tyler. Congratulations, top 10 in your class. I think you're in the top 4, so congratulations there. I would agree with Mr. Barrett. You well-rounded, everything you've done in the community, in and around school, definitely shows what you can do and what you want to do. A lot of that's been by the support people like that. So that goes a long way. Plus, you're selecting a good school to go to, which is A&M, I think I wrote down. So it's quite commendable. I mean, you were elected a state officer, all kind of stuff that you've done. So I think it's just a commitment of showing you that no challenge is too big, and it's well recognized. So thank you for what you do to represent our schools. Thanks. Ms. Isabella, quite remarkable. I remember when y'all came here to be recognized. I think it was March of this year. So congratulations on you wanting to devote yourself to being an educator and competing at the national level. That definitely shows you the commitment and the strength that you have to want to do that. We appreciate that. And all along, all those other acclimates, I'm kind of along with Mr. Barrett, all these things, team president, this, quite respectable, but it definitely shows your leadership and ability that you want to be a better person to do that.
Y'all come on up.
Next, we will have our girls volleyball team, Coach Martinez.
As Coach Martinez comes up, I'm going to recognize our girls volleyball team this year. They made it to the regional finals, which puts them in the top 8 in the state. I know typically we
That's right.
While these ladies, they didn't quite make it to that state level, but making it to state in volleyball in any team sport requires you to be in the top 2. And so making it to the top 8 in the state is phenomenal. So congratulations to y'all. I'm going to turn it over to Coach Martinez, and he can say a few words.
Thank you, Dr. Gilstrap. And I'll just piggyback off of that. I'm so proud of our volleyball team. Coach Smith, no program has had more transition and with higher expectations than our volleyball team. And I thought they did a fantastic job handling the adversity, handling the changes. They showed up every day, and I credit Coach Smith, her staff, and all the girls for their toughness and resilience to be able to do what they've done. I can't tell you how proud I am of them. Coach Smith coming here and taking on the challenge and leading the girls. I'm super excited about the future, but and then watching our Floresville community show up for that last game. I mean, that was something to be super proud of, and the Floresville pride that we're building here in this community. And I'm just super excited to be part of it, and really proud that our girls are leading the way out there. I'll turn it over to Coach Smith, and she'll speak on the girls.
Thank you. Thank y'all for having us, and thank you for your continued support. I'm just going to talk a little bit about the season quickly, briefly, and a little bit about the girls, and we'll be on our way. We played 44 games this season and won 36 of those games, which is a huge feat. The schedule was a lot tougher this year. We had some tough people on there. We had Piper, we had Davenport twice. But you know, we're never going to step away from a challenge. We would rather play those challenging games than win every game. Those challenging games are what make us better and what get us into the top 8 and eventually into the top 2. So really proud of the girls. We spent 15 weeks in the gym, played 44 games, like I said, and not everybody's made for that. And each of these girls showed up every day, went hard every day. They learned a new coach, a new system, and we saw a lot of success not only on the board but within our program. We gained some trust within our program, and we're going to continue to build from that this next year. We have one team member who will be has been recognized. She, Giada Obregon, senior, is THSCA Academic All-State Honorable Mention. And of course, our girls, we had a ton of district accolades. Those have been announced on Facebook. Everybody on our team received recognition through our district, so we're very proud of that. Thank you again for having us. I'm sorry. We have senior Giada Obregon, senior Felicity Soraya, senior Sloan Paul, sophomore Nevaeh Joyner, junior Alyssa Fisk, Taryn Penlera, sophomore Mackenzie Sefcik, junior Maddie Harden, sophomore Vivian Villalobos, junior McKenna Hurtless, and junior Lila Smith.
Well, on behalf of the board, we are extremely proud of you. I know it's not easy going through the transition, such as new coaches, just the shake-up of everything, just a whole new program. And to take on the challenges y'all have for these harder teams that may not have come out on top, but you learn from it, you grow from it, y'all bounce back. And to make it this far, I can't remember the last time our girls have been this far and done as well as y'all have. So without a doubt, thank you, Coach, and thank you, girls. Congratulations on an awesome season.
They're exciting to watch. Don't do team pictures all the time.
All right, parents, come on up.
All right. Congratulations. You don't mind shaking their hand. Ladies.
Thank you. Yes, ma'am. Okay. Congratulations. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. Again, appreciate y'all.
Go around twice. There you go.
All right, now we will have our Mighty Tiger Band, Mr. Cathy.
3 years in a row to state, Mr. Cathy. We get all 100 and whatever in here. We got our seniors. So,
Yes, sir. So, Dr. Odom, board, thank you for having us. Like Dr. Gilstrap said, these are the senior representatives from the Mighty Tiger Band.
we're made to do 2 rows.
There you go. Gonna allow, let's see, I'll introduce the directors. I'm sure you know anyway. To my left, that's Mr. Beaver, our assistant director, also in charge of brass. Next to him is Mr. Martin, who's in charge of the color guard and is director at the middle school. Mr. McCardle, percussion. And of course, Mr. V, jack of all trades, brass teacher extraordinaire, and of course, the I will let the students introduce themselves.
Hi, my name is Jody Garcia. I'm the band president. I was a soloist. Hi, I'm Desiree Cordova, and I play clarinet. Hi, I'm Abigail Machado, and I play the trombone. Hi, I'm Julie Jimenez, and I play the alto.
I'm Logan Martz. I was brass lieutenant, and I played the French horn.
My name is Rosamund Johnson. I play trombone. I'm Eliza Barraza. I play mellophone.
I'm Micah Mendez. I play baritone.
I'm Julie Scarza.
My name is Larry. I play the trumpet, and I was one of the brass trio players.
My name is Dr. Baker. I play trombone, and I check chairman for the.
My name is Elena Merced. I'm band vice president, and I play clarinet.
My name is Andy Cubillos, and I was drum major for the band.
My name is Maylin Piantaval. I'm color guard captain, and I also play flute during the Whitney season. My name is Julia Shubiko, and I play.
I'm Gabriela Espinosa. I play trumpet, and I'm also the vocal soloist.
I'm Isabella Valdes, and I'm color guard captain, and I was one of the soloists.
I'm Emma Martin, and I was bass drum section.
I prepared no notes, so I'm going to try to keep this brief, even though it's not really my way. Just a quick blurb about the show. As you know, it's called Flow. You didn't. It's called Flow. Manny Maldonado, who's our music ranger and our show coordinator, called me sometime last year, and he goes, "I have a perfect show." I said, "What?" He said, "Flow." And I said, "Yes." Manny is a Floresville grad, and I think those of us from Floresville, of course, realize that flow means more than just flow. So we immediately jumped on it. I got the music in the summer. I thought this is going to be really something special. I think it was. We featured a lot of smaller groups, featured full sections without the show. A lot of powerful moments. Could not have been happier. The season, we started off at the Seguin Marching Festival, which was a prelims finals show. Originally, they were going to take 8 bands to finals. There were 6 6As and 5As, so I thought, okay, we're probably going to make it pretty easily. And then about a week before, they changed it to the top 6 bands to the finals. Okay, well, we're going to have to beat a 5A or a 6A to make it. We beat all the 4As and below. We're going to have to beat a 5A or a 6A to make it to the finals. We ended up beating a 6A and 2 5As. They ended up 4th overall. Really exceptional show. The next week was Rocket Review. We got 2nd place by a point to Fredericksburg, who also went to the state marching contest. What did I miss? Did I miss one? I guess that's all pre-UIL. Went to UIL region contest, got straight 1s. Went to the area competition. We're 2nd in prelims, 3rd in finals. They take 5 to state, so we of course qualified for the state marching contest. When we were there, we ended up 19th overall. So out of 200, I think it's 204 4A schools in the state of Texas, we were top 20. Exceptional.
Solos this year were spot on. All those that did solos, spot on. Great to watch. Exciting.
Yeah, they worked hard from day one, and I think really lived up to what I thought was going to be a special show. So they ran with it and worked hard all the way to the end. You can't ask for much more.
Okay, well, it's me. My notes say something else. Congratulations, band. I enjoyed every performance this year, and I was with you at state. And if I was the judge, I don't know what y'all just were excellent. I mean, the whole show was excellent. I don't know what they're looking for, but y'all are the best. And you deserve first in the state. But listen, I'm proud of you. You worked hard, and I'll tell you, the summers before y'all start, that's grueling out there in the heat. And you guys just work really hard, and your hard work has paid off. And congratulations, state finalist. Praise God for that.
Come up here to take a picture. Y'all gotta come up here. You got everybody get up here.
Okay, don't block any board members. Scared.
Back up.
Can you see Mr. B?
That's the important part.
There you go.
All right, go ahead. All right.
Where did you get
All right. You don't mind shaking your hand again?
Yes, I am. Again.
Yes.
Proud of
Yes, Lizzie, thank you very much. Congratulations. Congratulations. Congratulations so much. Congratulations. No, very good. Congratulations.
Yes.
Every other year.
All right, Ms. Petrie, do we have any public comments? All right. The board encourages comments about the district from members of the public. Anyone who has signed up to speak in advance of the meeting in accordance with the board procedures may do so at this time. The board asks that each participant's comments pertaining to district business be no longer than 2 minutes. Remember that the board may not discuss or act upon any issues that are not posted on our agenda. In addition, the board has adopted policies to provide prompt and equitable resolution of complaints and concerns for employees, students, or their parents, and the general public. Copies of our district policies and procedures on public comment, filing complaints are available on our website. At this time, I'd like to recognize Mr. Jim Brown.
Well, good evening. First time to be with you and as a member of the community for about 6.5 years. I'm thrilled to see the accomplishments of this young people. So my applaud to all of you. Thank you for giving me just a brief moment to speak to a subject of a 4-day instructional week. As a military chaplain for almost 30 years, I understand the importance of not losing sight of addressing the challenges of a mission, especially in light of competing demands and too few resources. As a concerned citizen, I understand the pressures any district faces for budget constraints to teacher retention challenges. Nevertheless, I recognize that the potential impact of critical mission of our young people's education. I will urge you for careful consideration as you decide at some point transitioning to a 4-day school week. My son-in-law teaches in Colorado in a 4-day school week. I got to talk with him just a couple of weeks ago and asked him, what do you think of it? He spoke of many benefits. He said, first, no disruptions with teacher in-service days as they held all teacher in-service days on those Fridays. A second, he said, an added day when teachers and students can have an additional instructional day to help catch up a student who was lagging or struggling during the week. They could catch that student up so that when Monday came, they were back up to par. I thought that was a great idea. Third, a day when maintenance can do more intensive work orders to the building when the student population is less. Another good idea. Fourth, and I thought this one had great merit, not penalizing students who compete in sports and have to travel long distances on Friday for a game. He's a soccer coach and a cross-country coach, and they do a lot of traveling. Good idea. Caution though, if Fridays are enshrined to be a catch-up day and not simply a day off, then I think these benefits are truly beneficial. While the idea may be appealing on the surface, the challenge, I think, for any of us is what are the potential unintended consequences? Do they outweigh the benefits? First, does research show if a shortened week, that longer days impact our students' academic performance? Will our students ultimately have less time on critical tasks of learning, particularly for students who are already struggling? Without a Friday catch-up period, will a shorter school week lead to a learning gap? As a minister, I will tell you that my most significant concern is the burden this could place on working families, especially where both families have to work, or both parents. This concern is even more concerning when a single working mom or dad who relies on school week for reliable child care. Reducing the week to 4 days could force families to scramble for alternative arrangements on the 5th day, increasing financial strain, potentially leading to inequities, especially for those who cannot afford additional child care options. As a grandparent, we keep our grandkids often when they go to a 4-day week in San Antonio. Not everyone has close grandparents. If you use an outside organization to cover Friday, what are their qualifications, capabilities, and passion to make the day meaningful, not just another babysitting exercise? For many children, our school, in addition to education, is a safe instructional environment where students receive meals, social interaction, probably most importantly, emotional support. Will a 4-day work week or 4-day school week reduce access to these critical resources, particularly for our most vulnerable students? Finally, I recognize that A4 instruction week may be a way to address teacher burnout and shortage. However, if the instruction minutes required by the state doesn't change, we should carefully weigh whether this option will achieve its intended desires. Explore whether this solution generally meets their needs. I believe our teachers and support personnel deserve the absolute best pay we can give them. Before making such a significant change, I urge the board to conduct a thorough research, consult with families and teachers, and explore alternative solutions that do not compromise our students' education and well-being. As a minister, I'll say, and I'll be praying for you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mr. Browning. Take those things into consideration. Next, we have Robert Gamble.
I think I just wanted to say it's sort of the same thing as Mr. Browning said. It's a really tough decision, but about the 4-day instructional week. But there's a meeting on Thursday, and I really feel like it's probably a good idea for you guys to come see and hear what the voters have to say and where they're coming from and what they're feeling. I think that it's important to listen to what the community is really feeling and thinking about the subject as well. I know that in the past there's been other community forums, and I haven't seen as many of y'all there. And I think it's probably really important so that you can get an idea of where everybody's coming from in the community itself. So that's really all I have to say about that.
Mr. Gamble. Ms. Holly Walston.
I'm not going to talk about the 4-day thing because I know you're going to come on that. I'm talking about the changing from 5 classes to 8 classes. I was at the meeting, the one meeting that I know was held. Most of the people there, 2 teachers out of probably the 20 people that were there, including the teachers and the parents, wanted it changed. Everybody else said how good it was and how beneficial it was. So I'm a little confused in the transparency and the fact of, I know there was a survey sent out. I know people don't answer surveys. I mean, you're lucky to get this many back when you send it out to everybody. But I know that all the people I've talked to, it's all over social media. Everybody is like, why are they changing the 5 by 5? It's beneficial to the kids. I have a few little notes. What does it do to the kids that have planned out? You know, I have a senior and I have a sophomore. My sophomore has planned out her 4 years. You know, she has a college plan in mind. She knows what she wants to do. She knows what classes she needs to take to benefit her to get there. They've been told by the teachers that the going to the hospital for the medical stuff is probably not going to get to happen because they're going to be on a shorter schedule. So that takes her opportunity to leave the school with a certificate to be a medical assistant, which she was planning on being a medical assistant while she went through college to become a pediatric nurse practitioner. She was going to do that. Well, now her plans may have to change because she's not going to walk out of there with the same information and the same plan. And I know things change and we all have to adapt. I just want you to be aware that some of the things, they say that kids are struggling. How is taking when you have 5 classes, and most of the time it's 3 core classes and 2 regular classes. So how is taking, when you now going to add 8 classes, how is that going to make it easier for the kids? How are those that are struggling going to do any better when now I have more things to worry about, less time to do them? We have kids that work. We have kids involved in sports. The increase of homework is going to go up. How is that going to impact their classes? How far are they going to fall behind? You know, as it is right now, it's fantastic because they can get stuff done in class. I remember when my daughter was in middle school and they had 7 classes and she was involved in stuff. And she'd get out of practice at 8 o'clock at night and it'd be 11 o'clock and she's still doing homework. And she's not one to not do her work in class. It just was that many things piled up because she's in advanced classes that, you know, she was struggling because now I have to be up till 11 o'clock to do all of this stuff so that I can stay on top. What does it do for programs like the band, who has become more successful when you've been on the 5x5 because they have that 90-minute class period on top of the other time they have, because that 90 minutes doesn't go against their UIL practice rules. So they can have the 90 minutes, 45 minutes, they can't get their equipment and get out on the field and practice and get back inside. So that changes, and that may change the successfulness of it. I think there was only the one meeting. I feel like there should be more public input. I know surveys went out, but I really think it should be open to have a little bit more idea. Walk the campus, talk to the kids. I've had many conversations with many of them. You know, I'm in and out of the campuses. The kids are really happy with the way that it is. I know we have to try and do something to help the teachers. I know that it probably is not feasible if we go to 4 days to do 5 classes. A lot of people kind of feel like you guys have already made up your mind on all of it and that you just have the public forum so that you can say you heard us and you're going to do what you want to do. So I just want you to take a minute and think about that and when you make your decisions. You know, I want what's best for the kids. I really do. That's the whole point of it. I just want them to be successful and to enjoy coming to school. Okay, thank you.
All right, we will now do our swearing in of board members. Bill Shrub.
Yes, board members, I'd like to call up Judge Hank Whitman. If you can come to the podium, I'd like to just take an opportunity to thank Judge Whitman for being here with us tonight to swear in our new board members. Thank you for being here, sir. It's a little change having county judge here, so thank you for being with us. I'd also like to call up Dr. Odom, Mr. Shodrock, and Mr. Fleer. Y'all can also go to the podium and take your oath of office. And I'll turn it over to Judge Whitman whenever they get there. Well, thank you for allowing me to do this. It's an honor. Board members, if you'll stand right here in front of the podium, please. I want to make it easy for you. I'm going to do the recital. You just got to say your name and say I do. Okay? If you try to do it, we're going to mess it up. Okay? Please raise your right hand. I do solemnly swear that I will faithfully execute the duties of the office of Floresville ISD Board of Trustees of the state of Texas and will, to the best of my ability, preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution and the laws of the United States and of this state, so help you God. I do. I do. Congratulations. Before y'all sign some paperwork, let's take a picture real quick. If you don't mind. I'll tell you, when I try to get y'all to do that, it's gonna get messed up. We blocking it? Okay. Thank you. Yeah, I think so. I've got some paperwork, you know, to sign real quick. You want me to take all your hands?
Sorry.
All right. I gave you a hug when I walked in.
Sorry.
Please go. Okay.
All right, the next agenda item is reorganization of the Board of Trustees. I will now take nominations for the office of president.
I'd like to nominate Stephen Shotton. My second.
All right. Any other nominations?
I'd like to nominate Brian Martinez.
All right.
I'll second that.
All right. Two nominations. Any other nominations?
Well,
I would like, thank you very much, but I would like to volunteer.
So there's not one nomination, Stephen Shotton. Any others?
I'd like to nominate the doctor.
I'll second that.
Any other nominations? Okay, a nomination has been made for Stephen Shotton, and also for myself. So, all in favor of Mr. Shotton, raise your hand. Okay, for myself. All right. Mr. Shadrock, congratulations. You're now the new board president. Just real quick, if you want to come take over as president, complete the meeting, that's up to you, or you can
or, you know, for remainder of the system, you get your feet.
So it's down task.
All right. Very good. Now, same procedure for vice president. I would like to nominate Craig Moots for vice president. Any other nominations? All right. Craig Moots, you're now the vice president. Congratulations. Okay, the next, same procedure for secretary. Nomination for secretary.
Nominate Lionel Martinez.
Any other nominations? Very well. Ms. Martinez, you're now the new secretary. Congratulations. There you go. Now for treasurer. Any nominations for treasurer? I'd like to nominate Marshall Clear for treasurer.
It's a tough job.
I'll second.
All right. Marshall Clear, congratulations, you're now the treasurer. Thank you. Very good. Thank you, board members. We'll now continue with our reports and updates. Dr. Gilstrap will now go with the superintendent.
Yes, board members. I know this has not been an easy decision. We have put a lot of thought into this 5x5 schedule. This past October, we did have a presentation from the high school administration pointing out several issues. We implemented this first back during 2020, 2021 school year, and we've had some varying success with it. The initiative was originally implemented to provide students the opportunity to explore their passions and purpose, also to assist with social emotional health and implement an innovative learning environment. Over the past 4 years, we have not seen the expected results. While some students, high achieving students, have remained high performing, other students have continued to struggle academically with the pace of the daily lessons, the length of each period, as well as the amount of content that is provided in a single semester. Teachers have also reported struggling with the length of each class period per day. There's also been some administrative issues regarding course offerings, the master schedule, and as students move in and out of the district and trying to meet those needs. Other districts across the state first implemented a similar schedule and bell schedule. There is now only one high school campus in the state of Texas that's doing this. Other campuses have moved away from it for similar concerns that we've also experienced. So beginning with the 25-26 school year, the high school will be shifting back to a traditional bell schedule. We want to make this decision now so that we can begin our course selections for next year and also begin the administrative task of developing a master schedule. The high school administration will be communicating this change to our students and parents in the coming days. We will be working on some case-by-case basis with individual students as they do have things that they've already been planning for and graduating early and some of those other things. Those students will be able to accomplish those just as they do in other districts and other campuses, but it may have to change just a little. So we will be making that shift for next school. The facility task force held their third meeting in November. Approximately 20 people were in attendance as they continue developing priority projects from the master facility plan. Top priorities include the new intermediate campus, district-wide safety and security, technology, and maintenance improvements. Also made the cut. That's so far what they've talked about. The fourth meeting will be held Thursday, December 12th at 6 p.m. in the middle school cafeteria. At this meeting, they will continue to talk about their priorities and potentially consider a recommendation to the board in January. The teacher incentive allotment, otherwise known as the TIA, is something the state of Texas has put out and put into law. It's an opportunity for the state to provide some additional funding and salaries for teachers based on student progress and also certain certifications. We are participating in this program. We do have one teacher who is national board certified, so she qualifies for this incentive. But we also have an opportunity, and we're researching those opportunities to implement it across certain disciplines, grade levels, and certain campuses. It does take time to develop that plan. The application for next year is due in April, so we're targeting that deadline to submit it to TEA. And then during next year will be a data collection year. So we would not fully implement a plan until the year after. But there are a lot of decisions that have to be made between now and then as far as what groups are going to be targeted, what is math and English that we really struggle in academically, is it particular grade levels that we need to try to target, and we're going to get teachers involved in that process as we develop. We are finalizing a crosstown ROTC agreement with Livonia ISD. This will allow them to participate in our program. Details are being worked out with regard to funding as well as logistics for those students that may come over from Livonia to participate in the program. Our current program is below the required enrollment number, which is 100. And I think right now we're sitting at about 80. Is that correct? About 80. So we're below that threshold, and we've been on probation and notified the potentially having to do away with the program in a couple of years. Livonia is interested in participating. They do not have a program. They would like to try to get one started. However, it takes years to get through the military process to develop that program, and so they wanted to potentially send some kids over and participate in ours to boost our numbers. A crosstown agreement is allowed within the regulations of ROTC, so this is not uncommon. They did come over and do so. I think they had about 18 students that came over for a visit back in November. A lot of positive feedback from the students that came over, as well as from our students that had an opportunity to show off what we do. And so they were really excited about it. If this all works out, this will really benefit both districts and both campuses. So we look forward to working out those details. 2 of our FFA teams have advanced state competition in ag advocacy and radio broadcasting. They'll be competing later this month. I believe later at the end of this week. Is that correct? Friday. So they'll be competing at the end of this week. We'll be recognizing them at the regular January board meeting on the 6th. They're also scheduling an LCD showcase this Wednesday in the high school library at 6 o'clock. So it's a public performance. Typically, you don't get to see them perform these things. So they wanted to, perform for the public and have an opportunity just to showcase what they do, but also give them an opportunity to perform in front of people. And that's obviously something that they need to make sure they're doing. The Finance Committee met earlier in November with Samco to discuss a potential refunding opportunity this coming spring. We'll include this for consideration at the regular January board meeting with identified parameters, just as we've done in the past. So we're working those details out. Samco will be here for that meeting to present that information. January is Board Appreciation Month, so we want to plan our meal for the board members as well as our administrators prior to the regular meeting in January. So that'll be Monday the 6th. The meal will be at 5:30. Our regular meeting will start at 6:30. This is an opportunity for us to recognize and thank you as board members for your service to our district and our community. Also, we do have a community meeting this Thursday at 6. What time is that? 6 o'clock? Dr. Wade, give me 5:30 or 6. 6 o'clock. 6 o'clock in the middle school cafeteria to take some provide public information as well as take some public questions and comments regarding the potential 4-day calendar or a hybrid 4-day calendar. The board received an update on that last month, and so we're taking that out to the community to gather some feedback. We've included a list of upcoming events at each one of your desks, and that's for our December events. There's a lot of things going on around the campuses between band concerts, choir concerts, and everything else that you can think of. So take an opportunity to be a part of those and see what our kids are doing. We've also included the Christmas cards that were voted on and selected. So we've been sending those out this month. We included one of those at your table as well. We also have included our attendance and enrollment numbers as of the last Friday in November, prior to the Thanksgiving break. Also a couple of graphs. One shows the enrollment graph, which is actually trending up, which is a little bit of not the norm for the past few years. We are trending up on our enrollment. Our average daily attendance, just as in the past, it does trend down throughout the year, but we're still running above where we were last year. Any questions?
What's the numbers? Can you share the number of the enrollment?
The enrollment, I'd be glad to. Total enrollment is 4,072. 4,072. All right. Thank you, Dr. Bill Stroud.
We will now continue on our next agenda item, which is agenda number 5, action items. First action item is the consent agenda, also Dr. Gilstrap.
Board members, typical consent agenda, including financials, are provided. We do also have 2 donations that require board action. One is a donation for mobile cameras for our vehicles and our squad cars and police cars. This donation comes from the city of Alamo Heights. Chief Key was able to make a few contacts over there. These units, while they may be used, they're slightly used, and they're also compatible with our vehicles and our programs. The dollar amount assigned to that donation is $24,000. So since it exceeds the $1,000 limit, then it does require board action. But I want to thank Chief Key and the city of Alamo Heights for helping us out with our cameras in our squad vehicles. Also, the ConocoPhillips has donated $67,500 for scholarships. That was a part of their golf tournament fundraiser that they do. And so I want to make sure we recognize them and thank them for that donation. We will be developing a scholarship committee to kind of set those parameters into place. This is not going to be a one-year deal. We want to make sure we utilize that money for about a decade, trying to do about $6,700 per year. So we can hopefully sustain about 10 years worth of scholarships. And it's very generous of them to do this. And hopefully we can continue to work with them kind of on a rotation basis. They actually donated similar amounts to Lavernia ISD and then a little lower amounts for Stockdale and Pope. And so they really have stepped up to help out the districts in Wilson County. In talking to them, they have helped out Karnes County a lot in the past. And what they have found out is a lot of their employees live and their kids go to school in Wilson County. Although their offices and activities are in Karnes, they wanted to help out the kids in Wilson County. So I want to thank them for that donation. If there's not any questions, administration recommends the board approve the consent agenda.
We have a motion to accept the recommendation of administration.
I'll make a motion to accept. Accept the administration.
And I second it.
Mr. Rude seconds it. Do we have any further questions? All in favor of accepting the administration recommendation, let me know by raising your hand. Motion carries 7-0. Thank you. We will now consider approval of the FISD board standard operating procedures. Also, Dr. Gilstrap.
Board members, each year, whenever we reorganize the board, we have an opportunity to review the board's standard operating procedures. Presented these to you about a month ago. I haven't had any questions or comments, suggestions, so don't have any recommended changes. If there's not any questions, administration recommends the board approve the FISD board standard operating procedures as
we have a motion to accept the administration recommendation.
I move to accept the administration's recommendation.
Okay, Ms. Martinez, do we have a second? Mr. Loder. Any further questions? All in favor of accepting the administration recommendation, let me know by raising your hand. 7-0, motion carries.
board members, these will be updated on the website this week.
All right. Next, we will consider approval of the 2025 Public Information Act calendar. I'm talking again.
Ms. Martinez is not with us this evening, in our communications specialist, but this action needed to go to the board before January 1st. Per HB 3033, which was adopted in the last legislative session, districts are required to identify 10 days that would be exempt from the business days for the purposes of open record request. We do recognize all of the federal holidays, the state holidays, as well as the board can identify 10 days to add to that. So we have set, the calendar is here, it'll be updated on the website as well once it's approved. What we are recommending is 3 days in the week of spring break. So the first 2 days of spring break will actually be business days, even though we're not open, we still count towards our open record request. And then the last 3 days of spring break would be considered as holidays. 3 Fridays in June, we typically have 4-day work weeks in June and July. The day before 4th of July, the Wednesday before Thanksgiving, and then the last 2 days of the calendar. So if you look at the calendar, it's been included in the packet, it's the days identified. If there's not any questions, the administration recommends the board approve the Floresville ISD's 2025 Public Information Act
calendar as
For a motion to accept the administration's recommendation.
Make a motion to accept the recommendation.
Mr. Schonberg. Second, Mr. Boots. Any further questions? All in favor, let me know by raising your hand. Motion carries 7-0. Thank you, Dr. Board members.
On behalf of Blanca Martinez, thank you very much.
All right. Next, we will consider approval of the foreign exchange student waiver by Dr. Wade.
Good evening, Dr. Gilstrap, other board members. 2 years ago, FISD had 17 foreign exchange students, which caused some difficulties with scheduling. So the board approved in 2022 at that time, and we were approved by TEA for a waiver to limit the number of foreign exchange students. So the district is able to request this waiver to limit foreign exchange students when those admissions require students to compete for educational services and resources. We're requesting to apply for another 2-year waiver for the 25-26 school year, 25-26 and 26-27 school year to limit FES or foreign exchange student admissions to a maximum of 8. I'm glad to answer any questions you have.
When we initially did that, that was due to the 5x5, correct?
No, sir, that was because of the scheduling.
Availability of classes.
With
Yeah.
For
Oh, we were
because of
in
the
5x5. Yes, but it was still, what happened is districts around us implemented the waiver, so all of the foreign exchange students were coming to us. And so our students were struggling, counselors were struggling to meet the needs of our students because they were competing with foreign exchange students in class size.
Our students weren't able to get certain classes because those foreign exchange students were being forced into those classes.
Because they're typically seniors. They're seniors. Juniors.
how many other students, how many we looked at this coming year if we don't do the waiver? Do we have a
It's
number?
open.
It's just open, we don't know.
Before we had the waiver,
17.
Before,
17.
but we don't know what it might be.
No. I mean, it kept increasing. That high school, prior to the current administration, had asked about, can we do something about this? Because the counselors were saying they were really struggling with the numbers, and it kept going up. And then I found out the surrounding district had put in a waiver, and that's what was causing ours. So they said,
we have last year?
I think we had 7 or 8. Yeah, the people who do this know what our limit is, so there's a timeline to apply, and I need to get the waiver in now if we're going to do it because the timeline begins in March, and we have to get TA approval first.
Some other districts also have a similar waiver that limited to
You
8
can't
or
limit it below 5. 5 is the absolute minimum, but we went to 8 thinking that we could accommodate.
And we did that okay.
Mm-hmm. Yes, sir.
That to be decided.
come here to the other
Yeah.
districts around.
Right. There's not a.
Shut the doors.
Any other questions? If not, the administration recommends the board approve the submission of foreign exchange student waiver as presented.
Move to accept the administration recommendation.
Okay, Mr. Roto makes the motion. Do we have a second? Mr. Flair, any further questions? Accept the administration recommendation, let the number raise your hand. Motion carries 7-0.
Thank you.
Dr. Wood. The board will now convene into executive session pursuant to Texas Government Code Section 551.074, personnel at 7:33 p.m. No voting will take place in the closed session, and the action the board wishes to take as a result of discussion in closed session will take place after the board reconvenes